Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Western Championship 2026. We are just getting started, and we're in the heat of a 3x3 round 2. It's going to be an exciting day of competition here at the Riverside Convention Center. Manu Singhal and Michael Rosenkrantz, the one and only great commentator in speedcubing. We're here to bring you the action from this group at least, and then we'll transition over to Brandon True in group number 2. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible day, Rosie. Really excited to start the day off with you, my friend. Gonna feed off your energy a little bit as we, had some technical difficulties yesterday, for which I will apologize quite a bit to the audience. But today we think we've figured everything out and should be much more stable going into the rest of the day today. Yeah, Rosie, welcome to the stream. How's it hanging, my friend? Are you excited for 3x3 round 2?
Has an extra.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was nuts because that was like kind of in the moment when all of the other stuff was going down that we almost like missed it. I wasn't fully sure what was happening, but Sebastian Stone, the one and only, we knew that he was capable of like great results, but to beat the, a guy who got second at the World Championship is no joke. So major props to Sebastian there. Just fantastic stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, so I'll speak a little bit for the for the organization team here. But yeah, so many months of planning went into Westerns, and to see it all culminate in the final day, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be an exciting one. I know everyone here at the venue has had a fantastic time, and hoping we can kind of continue that going into the very last day here. Yeah, I mean, very first group of the day, very first solve of the day, of course, hard to kind of get your mojo in, but the great news is that it is only the first solve of the day. And so, it's got a lot of opportunities to come back from it and kind of readjust, reevaluate, and I have no doubt that we'll see him in the head-to-head final later today. Yeah, I mean, Dylan Miller, just a class act, just so much experience behind those eyeballs. I think he'll have what it takes to get it done. Yeah, that's going to be a crazy one. It is a WCA head-to-head, very, very rare to host it. We're very thankful to be able to host it. It's a very unique format, very new format. Of course, still in the testing. That's the part of the things that one of my team, as the WCA, where we work on, just making sure that it's an interesting format, that the that everyone kind of likes it, that the spectators like it, that the competitors like it. It's a lot that goes into it. So. Yeah, just testing it, making sure that it all works good, and we're happy to be able to provide for that here. This is a really good solve. Really, really good solve. That could be the fastest solve we see all day, and it's a little anticlimactic to get that in the morning, right? 4-1-1. Of course, see, the reason why he's not happy is because he's like, in his head, he's like 7-5, like, oh, this average is already over. And then now it's like 4-1. It's like, okay, well, now we're on to a mean of 3 solves because, of course, you drop your best and worst. That was a fantastic solve. We got the replay operator seeing to see if we can get it. Nope, unfortunately, a little too early for that. But wow, just a fantastic stuff, and just shows you what the great Dylan Miller is just capable of. Like I said, like first average of the day, right? First few solves of the day, and you get a 4-1. Kind of hard not to be juiced after that. Hey, what I'll say is, despite the technical issues, we treat our stream viewers well, right, Rosie? And especially the early folks. You know, you came in early, you got the worm, you got to see a 4.11 second solve. Yeah, just here early in the morning. I'm glad the stream was stable for that at least, huh? Yeah, indeed. There's some good solves that were captured, including some solves from that clock final as well that hopefully we can get up sooner rather than later. We appreciate your patience with that, as we do have an entire day of competition to get through today as well. I mean, Rosie, aside from the head-to-head finals, you mentioned that there are, I think that there are 5 other finals today. What's kind of got your eye? Yeah, and did I say it was too early for replays? Yeah, I underestimated our replay guy, Lucas Aubin, because he's got it right here for us with that lovely little stinger. Take a look at this 5.28, a good solve from Dylan. He did get bailed out a little bit with the OLCP, but of which is, you know, we take that. A little bit pausey on pair number 3, but I mean, if you get like a 6 mover into a U-perm, that is a pretty darn good last layer. He's counting that, which is some good stuff. I actually see Dylan kind of walking out, so we'll try and get you some info on that. Maybe he actually ended up doing his first several solves off camera, and if so, I mean, we'll get you updated with what final times he's got. Yeah, we got him. I got him, and the scorecard is right in front of me. 628, 659, 756, 411, 528. So that explains the head shake after 411, because I thought he was thinking, oh, the average is over. Well, the average is over, because at that point he did already count 628 and 659, And for him, that's not going to do it. I mean, still ended up with 528 at the last, not bad. 605 average is like, it's like okay. I mean, for your first round of the day, for someone like Dylan, obviously he will want something a lot better than that. But it's not too bad, especially those last two solves, because he found something. And if he can just find that mojo a little bit more as he goes into the later rounds today. And note, he basically only has 3x3 today to care about. So unlike yesterday where he's competing in 5x5, he's competing in Megaminx. He won Megaminx, by the way. Yeah, so instead of like trying to deal with all these other rounds, he can kind of focus solely on 3x3. And this round is over. He has one more average of 5, and then, of course, we're going to go into the head-to-head final where he's going to put his best foot forward and hopefully put on a show. I mean, he's clearly capable of that. Yeah. Yeah, Max did win last year. I think it was a bit of a close race between him and I think Caleb Chen. Caleb Chen, I think, got second last year. Was a close race between them, but yes, he is the defending Western champion, and actually has been since 2018, maybe. Ooh, I'd have to check the Cubing USA site for that, because my ball knowledge is fallen short there a little bit. But I mean, look, it's kind of what you expect, right? Especially when like in an average type format, Max has been one of the most consistent top solvers kind of forever, and that's just what he does. Like for Max, getting a 6 average is like really, really far off. It's like multiple standard deviations away from where he's kind of averaging. But that also, you know, goes back to bite him when it comes to the singles format. Max actually hasn't had a sub 5 average since he got the world record 486 average many, many years ago. And so that's kind of like the curse of consistency. Ooh, I really like that. I really like that. The alliteration is getting to me. Yeah, so that's kind of the curse of consistency that you have to deal with Max. And yeah, confirming that Max actually has won. He is the defending. He is actually the ultimate Western champion. He has never not defended the Western champion title and has held it since 2018. 567 last year in Vegas is his defending time. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing consistency from Max. Now, I do think the head-to-head format is going to shake things up a little bit because, like I've said, Max isn't necessarily prone to getting incredible singles. Now, he did post some good singles last week at Riverside Warm-Up, which was actually just held down the road here at the University of California, Riverside, I believe. So it is possible, and of course, no one can forget the legendary 3.13 world record single that was also set here in SoCal, I think in 2022. So it is certainly possible, but all I'm saying is those are extreme solves. Those are multiple standard deviations away. Whereas for Dylan, I mean, you just saw Dylan just get a 411 like it was, you know, not too big of a deal with his tail down as he thought that the average was essentially over. So that's, I think, is going to introduce a little bit of a wrinkle. Of course, Brendan Dunnigan has also been practicing a lot of 3x3 recently. I think we're going to see him in a group upcoming as well. And yeah, so there's a lot of it's a very dynamic moment, so to speak. And there's a lot of things that could happen, a lot of shakeups could happen, and the Western champion, one way or another, is going to get decided today, but it'll be definitely decided in a unique way, a different way, and maybe that'll lead to a shakeup for the first time in 7 years.
It very well could. You never know who's going to come out on top in this competition. We can only wait and see. Time will tell who is going to be crowned the new Western champion.
Indeed. As we're hitting a little bit of a transition, I think we're going to transition away. I need to go compete, I think. Either that or we're going to bring on the very capable Brandon True onto the stream. So, yeah, I mean, very first group, and we've already seen some fireworks. So, yeah, sit tight, everyone. We'll just do a little bit of a commentary change, and, yeah, we'll be back with more action from Western Champs 2026.
Back inside the Riverside Convention Center for the final day of Western Championship 2026, Michael Rosenkrantz, alongside Brandon True. Brandon, great to see you again. Final day. Ready for some action today?
Absolutely. I think the general vibe among the competitors this morning is everyone's a little bit tired, a little out of it, you know, long weekend, but everyone's excited for head-to-head finals tonight. And from talking to some of the people who just competed, good scrambles and high hopes for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. It is an early morning in California right now, 8:54 local time in Riverside right now, 11:54 on the Eastern time zone, wherever you're watching. We're so glad to have you along on this Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th of 2026. Just concluded Group 1 of the second round of 3x3, and now we're getting ready for Group 2. Just like that, names to watch out for, Brandon: Zarui Chang, Brendan Dunnigan, Sebastian Stone, Nicholas Sanchez. I want to highlight Zarui for just a moment. Had a great first round of 3x3 a day ago, advanced to this round with a 621 average, and that was the picture of consistency Manu just touched on a little bit ago. Lots of 6-second solves, and if he keeps up this pace, especially after a long weekend, he could be a name to watch for.
Oh, I think that Zarui is like absolutely a hidden boss right now. There's a lot of solvers on the West Coast here for 3x3 who are extremely inconsistent, but they have high peaks. Dylan Miller is one of them. Brendan Dunnigan is one of them. Zarui is an up-and-comer, so we haven't seen him at peak form, but what we do know is that he has very solid form and is super consistent. And in a head-to-head format, that's what matters a whole lot more than having the occasional really fast solve.
Absolutely. Brendan getting a 755 to start off his average of 5 in this second group of 3x3. And again, Brandon, it's the first round of the day, so relatively early. But now as you move through the rounds, this is where the pressure starts to ramp up a little bit. The pressure is on these guys to put down good times. The top 70, sure, the top 70 advance to the semifinals later up this afternoon. But going into the head-to-head finals of 3x3, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the top 16 that advance.
I believe it's top 8, actually, for head-to-head finals.
Top 8, yes, that's correct.
So this round is just them getting comfortable. Next round is the qualifier. But even so, for some of the solvers who have the potential to kind of squeak into the bottom of the top 8, a very bad average in this round. Like, it's conceivable they could make a huge mistake on one solve and then the pressure be on. But for most of the folks we'll be seeing on stream, it should be a pretty comfortable walk right into round 3. Zarui's coming up here on his first solve of the average, it looks like, once judging gets situated.
As mentioned, Zarui advanced to the second round with a 621 average, getting ready to surpass 1,500 career solves in the WCA. What he can put down here for his first solve of the early morning here. Couple of rotations in there, relatively slow pickup, trying to make up for it in his turning. This is one he's going to want to put behind him.
Yeah, tough start.
57.
Tough start. Cold hands getting used to the venue. See how he does for the rest of the average. Can't put too much stock in that first one.
Exactly. Better to get those first rougher solves out of the way. And touching on that again here, Brandon, it's been a long weekend for all these competitors. After competing, you go straight back up to the hotel room and you try your best to decompress after hours of competing. But at the same time, it's a tough mental battle because you can put yesterday behind you, but at the same time, when you're getting ready to go to sleep at night, you got to think about what's tomorrow going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brendan's going for solve number 2 here. Looks really fluid. He's happy with that one. No major mistakes, super clean turning. Going to aura farm a little bit as we're walking into what has potential to be a good average.
Much better there from Brendan with a 579 for his second solve in his average of 5. Been a good day for Brendan Dunnigan. Been a good competition so far for Bendy all weekend long, and a great round of 7x7 on day 1 on Saturday. And yesterday, he clinched the title of Square One Western Champion last night. So Bendy gets to add another title to his name, as Sebastian's not too thrilled with that 808.
Yeah, well, Sebastian won clock last night, coming in as our Western champion over Reed W. Richardson and Brendan Dunnigan. So Sebastian has a ton of potential. He's one of those inconsistent 3x3 solvers I mentioned earlier. He has the potential to be exceptionally fast at a ton of events, but he's also very young, and he kind of treats competing with kind of a light mindset where he's not super locked in for any given attempt. So whenever Sebastian Stone comes up, you could either have fireworks or you could have, well, what we just saw.
For sure. Nicholas Sanchez getting your first look at him for his, looks to be first solve in his average of 5. Finishing up here, puts it down with a 750 there for Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas traveling all the way from Georgia for this competition, a full ZB user as well, so has a whole lot of algorithmic knowledge, but still kind of in the phase where he's locking all of it in. Zarui coming up on solve number 2 on stream here.
See if Zarui can bounce back from his first solve here. Pretty fluid turning to start.
Very
Keep
nice.
it on going. Puts it down with a 638. Doesn't look to be too happy with it, but a better solve from the first one.
Yeah, he's likely unhappy because he was able to see his entire last layer from the time he saw his OLL. He knew exactly what he wanted out of PLL. So in his mind, it should have been like a high 5 because he had a whole plan for how he was going to do his PLL, but he locked up. So recency bias plus having really strong potential makes that feel bad, but it's a 6.3. Can't be too upset.
Brendan Dunnigan back up for his third solve and his average of 5 as he takes off those shades and gets ready to go here. See what he can find on solve number 3.
Considering a lot of this scramble here. Very fluid start, fast turning, looking, oh, never mind.
Pretty big lockup right in the middle of it. That took off precious seconds. He'll want to put this one behind him as he gives a sarcastic pump of both fists, a 913.
Yeah, this is one of those scenarios that I was mentioning earlier where if you have a 9 or a 10 in your average, you can't have 2 solves like that because there's a chance that you don't make round 3 with the depth of competition today. Sebastian Stone on stream, turning fast, looking good with a couple of keyhole insertions.
Littlelocki able to finish it up with an 848, but again, not happy at all with that one.
Sebastian has very high standards for himself, it seems like, in every event, and just probably a little bit cold hands, tired out this morning. I would imagine, too, like, you wouldn't clock last night. You get a lot of adrenaline off of that. It kind of probably disrupts your sleep schedule and rest coming into today.
No doubt. It's a tough thing to try and get out because you have all that adrenaline from competing, Brandon. But then when you try and rest at night, your mind automatically goes to, okay, what's tomorrow going to look like? So it is a really, really big mental battle for a lot of these competitors. And yeah, early in the day, so expect them to get much warmer as time goes on, and expect some of those nerves to hopefully decrease as the competition goes.
Yeah, Zarui getting ready for 3 here. He's had 2 solves he's not happy with, so looks like he's taking his time, trying to calm himself down a bit, make sure his turning is solid.
Always good to see the different preparation methods of each cuber. Each has different preparation methods. Some just go straight into it. Others are a lot more methodical in their preparation approach. Brendan going to be going up right to the left of Zarui. We'll try and keep track of both of them here. Is Zarui going to be expecting first and Brendan going to be expecting shortly after? See what Zarui can find on solve number 3. Going for orange. Pretty quick start, trying to keep up with that bursty turning. Still keeping on going through last layer. 635 for Zarui.
Solution wasn't bad at all. He's just frustrated because he knows his turning could be more fluid.
So a couple of 6-second solves for Zarui. Now we switch to Brendan Dunnigan for his 3rd solve and his average of 5, working on white. Little lock at the start, trying to make up for it in his turning. Relatively efficient last layer, 591 for Bendy.
Yeah, absolutely flies through the end of the solve there. That was looking like a 7 until he got a couple lucky cases at the end. He is probably happy.
Good 3rd solve there for Brendan Dunnigan, as I believe he will be counting a 7 in his average, if I remember correctly. Because that 5, I believe, was his best time.
That was his second 5 of the average, so he's counting his 5 from earlier. Sebastian
yes, he
Stone,
is.
Oh, he's sad because that could have been a 5, locked up on the last layer. Still a solid solve relative to what he's been getting.
Exactly. Great start for Sebastian. Couldn't finish it out. A 635. Lots of good things to take away from that solve, though. So, yes, Brendan is counting a 5 in his average here.
Yeah.
And Brandon, you just came off from competing in 3x3 this group. How was your round?
Oh, really mediocre. I didn't practice 3x3 at all going into this competition. The last month has all been spent on big cubes. Placed top 10 in 6x6, which was my main goal, was to do well in 6. So I had one good solve out of my 3x3 round, but the rest of it was just kind of like very poor, which was to be expected. I'm not disappointed with it at all.
As long as you can take good things out of it, that's all that matters, right?
Sure. I'm just thankful for the good performance in the events.
Absolutely. Great to see you getting top 10 of 6x6 for sure. That's got to feel great.
Yeah, it's good. I've had my last 2 6x6 rounds were very disappointing. And I won't be able to compete at the North American Championships because I missed the qualification deadline by a few days. But I'm very, very happy that I got a good 6x6 result in so that I can focus on the other events that I'm good at leading into the North American Championships this year.
No doubt. Zarui and Brendan Dunnigan going up simultaneously here. Both getting ready for their 4th solves in their average of 5 here.
Yeah, Zarui's not in any danger right now. He just wants to put up a time that he's proud of, I think. Brendan getting ready here.
See if Brendan can keep up on this good trajectory here after getting that 591. A little slow pickup as he works on yellow. Pretty fluid turning, couple of rotations in there. Big rotation, trying to finish up on last layer. Puts it down with a 751. It had good turning, but a lot of rotations in there for Bendy. And here goes Zarui on his 4th solve, working on blue. Pretty quick turning for him as well. A couple of rotations. Efficient last layer, 605 for Zarui. Another 6-second solve.
Yeah, not happy again. Giant pause between cross and first pair. He probably misplanned something or just got rushed in inspection. So he is going to be beating himself up about that average for the rest of the morning.
It's really something that we haven't touched on a lot this broadcast, Brandon, the inspection time. Sure, it's 15 seconds of inspection, which as a competitor, you think, oh, 15 seconds, that's a decent amount of time. But if you're struggling to find an efficient solution, it can be hard to sort of plan things out. And that 15 seconds when you're sitting up there goes by very quickly.
It goes by really quickly. And then the other thing is that you get a sense for how the solve is going to be after just 2 or 3 seconds of getting into inspection time. And so when you're carrying the mental baggage with you of 3 previous solves that were not very good, and then you pick up this cube on like your 4th or 5th solve, and you're in early inspection and going, this isn't going to be good, it becomes even harder to inspect well. Like, a lot of the mental game of cubing happens in that inspection time, not during the solve.
Just off stream, our very own Manu Singhal putting down a 17-38 as he competes in this group of 3x3. Nicholas Sanchez going up now for his next solve and his average of 5, working on yellow. Pretty Locky trying to finish up F2L, trying to figure out last layer. Big pause in between, 906. That pause costed him there along with the lockups.
Costed him, but this is the price you pay for trying to do full ZBLL. And he got the right alg, shaky execution, but I'm guessing he's just chalking 3x3 up to a learning experience this weekend competing with full ZB.
It's tough enough when you're trying to memorize full ZB, which I believe is 493 algorithms. So many different cases for full ZB that you got to know. And I mean, you have to be dedicated in order to bring that to your wheelhouse and trying to bring that to your solves here and just trying to figure out the right cases. And sure, you can know ZB, but if it takes a little bit to recognize, it can be challenging, especially for these rounds where the pressure's more on.
Yeah, full ZB is actually almost double what you just said. It's closer
Now
to
calling
800.
3x3, round 2, group 3. If you are in 3x3, round 2, group 3, please submit your puzzle. This is the last call for 3x3. So if you have not submitted in round 2, this is your last chance to do so.
You can hear behind us, they're getting ready to call up the final group of 3x3 round 2. That would be group 3 of 3x3.
You are judging.
And just to give you an early preview, in that final group of the second round, you have Max Park in there, Micah Yo, Nancy Liu, and Dan Tran are going to be some names to watch out for in that third group.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Zarui here because right behind the station he's sitting at is a speaker where that announcement came from. So if you're sitting in that seat, it feels like a mini earthquake happens. So he's probably like sitting here collecting himself. He's like, man, bad average all the way through, and now that giant loud announcement just hit me. Shaky start to the solve.
Trying to make up for it in his turning. Quick last layer, a 639. And yeah, Brandon, you mentioned it. That speaker's so close, and we talk about this environment a lot. There's over 300 competitors in the Riverside Convention Center and over 800 spectators, at least for yesterday. And hopefully they all came back today, but it can create a challenging environment.
Well, at this point, Zarui's out of his average. It wasn't horrible at all. He's still going to probably be inside the top 5 for this round. So now he's just got to go back, kind of go, what went wrong? How do I get my mentality a little bit better for the later round? And really bring it in round 3, where he's going to be getting seeded into the head-to-head final.
No doubt, Zarui finishing up his average with that 639 there. Still waiting for his times to populate here. But while we have a moment, just to get you some early times in this round of 3x3, Dylan's currently sits in first place with a 605 average. Gavin Torreflores right behind him with an 857 average. And Zarui starting his average off of 5 with an 857, able to get it back on the rails and stay relatively consistent with 6-second solves all throughout. So again, we talk about that consistency from Zarui. And again, not a lot of margin for error in these later rounds, but in the second round, the top 70 advanced. So that's got to be a breath of fresh air for Zarui, that even though it wasn't his best average, he can still confidently say he's going to be moving on to the third round.
Yeah, what has to be on his mind, though, is that if you're going to be competing deep into the head-to-head bracket, especially with Dylan Miller, Max Park, Nancy Liu, Brendan Dunnigan, in order to consistently win solves against them, you're going to have to be solving in like the mid to high 5 range, and he's consistently going low 6, so he knows that there's like small margins that he's got to pick up.
Absolutely. Well, coming up next, we'll get you group 3 of this second round of 3x3. Don't go anywhere. Coverage of Western Championship 2026 returns right after this. Hey there, I'm Michael Rosencrantz. If you care about speed cubing, you have got to check out SpeedCubers Digest. SpeedCubers Digest delivers the weekly news that defines competitive cubing, competition previews, full recaps, athlete storylines, and everything happening across the global scene all in one place. It's built by people who compete organize, and cover the sport firsthand so you're getting real insight into what actually matters. Support the sport and stay informed. Find it all at SpeedCubersDigest.com.
All right, back live for Group 3 of Western Championships. Nancy Liu getting ready to do solve number 1. I'm Brandon True, and I'm commentating with Dylan Miller.
How's it going?
Probably not going to be too happy with that one. Mistakes all over the place.
Yeah, a few too many pauses between each of these pairs, causing definitely a little bit of time loss. Nancy, obviously very competent solver, one of the only sub-6 solvers that we have on the docket today. In this group, it's going to be her and Max as the main folks to look out for. But yeah, I mean, not a great start. Obviously, you hate to be put in that situation on unsolved one. 7-5 to start. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on you to keep it going for the rest of the average.
Yeah, but it's fine. Cold morning, tired, warm up, all the normal round 1 excuses, right?
Oh, well, yeah. But I feel like going into semis, maybe this is just my mindset, but like earlier on in the rounds, it's not necessarily indicative of what your future results are going to be, but it gives you a lot more confidence if you start with that nice clean start. You're just solid. Like we saw Zarui in the last group, like he's not happy with his solves. Like there's mistakes, and you know every cuber is going to be exasperated after they do a solve, but in total, like to be solving consistently low 6s, like that's a big deal. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of consistency,
Here comes the consistent man in cubing, Max Park.
yes.
Nancy coming up next to him. We might actually, oh, they'll be sitting down right about the same time.
Yeah, should be exciting. I am very anxiously awaiting some top-down Max Park 3x3 solves.
Yeah, Max looks a little bit nervous today as well, kind of hesitating to go up on the stage right now.
I think it's just because the cadence with the other solver next to him, potentially, that would make sense to me. Also, it's going to be his first time in the WCC head-to-head format, so...
Yeah, I'm so interested to see how he's solving today, just so that we can find out, like, is he feeling good, feeling bad? How could that carry into the later rounds?
Most definitely.
Certain somebody's probably especially interested to see that.
Oh, yeah, there's a few of them, maybe.
Anything jumping out to you on the scramble, Dylan?
Free pair yellow. It's kind of hard to deal with, but free pair yellow. Oh, yeah, that's clean.
Ooh.
Yeah. Solution-wise, this is all very, very solid.
Yes.
Hit a wide U move in there. Super clean. Got a nice little finger trickable last layer. That start was really, really good. Locked up a little bit in that second pair. Bit of a time loss, but like 6-3, like, you know.
That was a
you take it.
very, very nice clean solve. Could have used a little bit more look-ahead fluidity, but she handled that super, super nicely. Max getting ready for solve number 1.
He's just so good.
That was fantastic.
he just doesn't stop turning. It's fun. Like, Max's TPS doesn't look the fastest, and his style is like relatively outdated nowadays. But it just works.
It
for
just
him.
is good. It's
It
incredible.
just works every single time, and like especially his last layer transitions, you'll see, like, dude, this is my one kind of hot take here. I think Max's look ahead is so good because he single flicks U2s. He gets extra time in every spot. And it's
So
like
nobody
he loses
listening, use this as an excuse to not double flick your
time. This is
U2s,
true.
but you might have a point.
No, I'm, like, yeah, because you see him in like that last layer there. He's hitting like U2 prime, but then his F perm transition is just perfect. It's like he does this all the time. His last layers are just
Yeah.
one out.
Also, watching that solve immediately after a Nancy solve, I was like, Nancy was reasonably fluid, could use a little bit more fluidity.
Yeah.
And then Max solve, and it was just like, oh, my goodness. This is what fluidity looks like. This is incredible.
Most
Max
definitely.
turns like, when I watch Max turn, it just feels like he's not human. Like, it's a different turning style from what us mere mortal cubers have. I watch other fast people solve, like even you. You're turning, it just looks more human. There's more little mistakes. There's more little errors. There's more like random bursts of fast. Max is just a machine with the way that he turns.
He does just crank him out, dude. It really is. It is something to appreciate in its time. Like, it is very hard to overstate. It is very hard to state how impressive it is. Like you're saying, everyone else runs into lockups, pauses, anything. It just seems like it just never affects him.
Ever.
And whenever it does happen, which very rarely, but when it does, it's like it's shocking.
It's a shock. With most other solvers, it's a shock if it's perfectly clean. But you just, when Max gets up, you're just not nervous about it at all. All right, looks like we're getting a little bit of logistical issues here, getting Max and Nancy solving next to each other at the stream station, making sure that they're alternating so that Max and Nancy both have comfortable breathing room.
So Nancy's on solve 3.
I think this is 2. We've only seen that 6.3 from her.
She got 7-5 solve 1, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Okay.
Well, either way, Nancy's warming up for her number 3 potentially here.
Yeah, and I don't know, when you start an average with two different like second times, about like a second apart from each other, the variance there is a little bit tough, especially as a sub-6 solver, at least in my experience. Yeah, this gets a little tricky having all that variance between first 2 solves. So we'll see how it plays out.
She's probably a pretty composed solver, though, especially considering all the 2x2 experience. Slow start, creative solution, a lot of wide D moves to look around through F2L. Not good.
Yeah, start seemed fine solution-wise. I mean, it was relatively okay, but immediately after that, like you're saying, scanning around for pieces, not super clean, all in all. I mean, yeah, you just put that one behind you, and you just try to finish out this average with, like, 2 decent, solid solves.
Yeah, you can see it right there. I think that was 3 wide D moves, just kind of searching for something. Max getting ready for his second here.
Choosing white.
Max also struggling through his second and third pairs. That's incredible.
Yeah, for those astute viewers out there, you'll recognize that last layer case. It's a very nice one. That solve for Max, you know, we always talk about it. The time is not the important factor. It's really the quality. I mean, obviously we are measuring time, but this 5-7 is not the same as, like, say, like Brendan's 5-7.
What Brendan got last
like,
round,
exactly. Yes. The way that these came together is entirely different. if you're Max, you're happy that you still are keeping on that sub-6 pace, but yeah, definitely not the best sign. We were just talking about how he never pauses. It's shocking. He had that one big pause in the middle there.
And 2 huge rotations that were not super fluid either. It was like a rotate, take a quick second, then go into the next pair.
Yeah. Not characteristic of Max solving at all, but I imagine this will more than likely be the worst solve of his average.
Which is crazy. Nancy coming in for, this is either 3 or 4. Solve 3 for her. Okay. So she has 1 good solve, 1 bad solve so far.
I see.
Dylan looks skeptical. We'll find out soon.
I see. I see.
Starting inspection, searching around. Looks like she, oop, switching again. Still searching for her execution angle.
This cross looks tricky. Yeah.
Handled F2L very well. Super fortunate last layer cases.
Very good follow-up from that start. Execution seemed a little shaky. Maybe it was just like the double flicks weren't the cleanest, but you know, for a not great situation to deal with, the continuation and the way that she turned through it, and like you're saying, last layer cases of course help out a ton here too, but that's what you would want to see from like a not great start. The rest of it, you're clean. You can accept the bad start as long as you follow up and are clean throughout the rest of it.
She also chose a solution at the beginning that was super simple in the ergonomics. There were no complicated D, F moves going on. It was just kind of a few RU moves and then a rotation. So even though it wasn't as efficient as she wanted, she was able to keep things stable and take advantage of the good continuation and good cases at the end. Max getting ready for solve number 3. Maybe we can see some good fluidity and some lucky cases, if we can see around this stuffed alligator. Here we go. What do we see, Dylan?
Not much of anything. I think there might be a pair on orange.
You might not see anything. What does Max Park see? Goes for white. What in the world? Nothing happened, and then it was like he was on PLL.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. I mean, I don't understand. To be fair, again, fortunate last layer cases here. We do get Fatsu and T-perm.
Let's look at this replay. So he goes for white. Starts with white on the front.
Solid.
Puts solve pair in the back. Good
standard
wide
first
D
pair.
moves,
Yeah.
and then just cancels. Oh my
Last
goodness.
2 pairs are just simple into Fatsu and T-perm. I mean,
He's just really, really good.
he just does it, dude. I don't know what you want from me. It's like, I think Max is stylistically, like turning style-wise, not really someone you want to be emulating, but solutions-wise, you can get very far with just being solid, good look ahead, just relatively standard stuff.
I think it was Maddie. There was an interview he did with like the guys here at CubersLive, and he was like, of all the people who have like the X factor, like the just win factor, Max Park is the one where if he's in a final, he just wins.
Yeah. I mean, he's just solid. His style leads him to be more likely to do that, and it helps that he's also very good.
Nancy going into solve 4, 2 solid solves in her average so far. This inspection looks a whole lot better. When Nancy inspects on 2x2 and 3x3, she typically picks an angle and holds the cube very steady when she's confident.
Clean.
Very, very clean, stable solve from Nancy.
Yeah, I was trying to see which pair I think she would probably go for. I think it was orange green and then it did that pair with like a wide insert at the back, and generally I'm not the biggest fan of those. I think the look ahead kind of falters a little bit. And that was actually the last solve.
That was her last solve, yes.
Yeah. So it does have a counting 7-5 in there. 7-5 is you know, we will take those. We will take those.
Max Park preparing for what I believe is his 4th solve. Searching, searching, searching. All right, looks like he's locked in on his solution here. Quick start, a little pausey going into third pair, but finishes it out either way.
Kind of at a loss on this one. I can't lie. We saw him kind of be very bursty in this like second pair range, where he speeds up a lot and then just has that slight pause, tries to turn through it, but then it's just pause a little bit too much, slight lockup in that F perm, and then it just gets you 6-4. Like, you know, you wouldn't necessarily expect that in that spot, that 9-move ZB really coming in clutch for this average here.
Ryan Fong on the stream, Southern California local competitor.
We are now calling Pyraminx round 2, group 1. If you are in Pyraminx round 2, group 1, please submit your puzzle. To check if you are in round 2, you can check the QR code on your name tag, or you can check the projector and TVs.
Well, we're gearing up
Make
for
sure to check
Pyraminx.
for your competing and judging assignments.
Gearing up for Pyraminx round number
Also,
2.
a quick reminder, our last giveaway will be during lunch. So if you would like to purchase giveaway tickets at the help desk, you do not have much time left to do so.
Gearing up for Pyraminx round number 2 as we wait for Max Park's 5th solve. Do we know what competitors are going to be in the first group of Pyraminx?
Yes. We can figure it out, that is for sure.
We'll have that information in a few minutes for you here. Meanwhile, as we're waiting for Max Park's 5th solve, things just got a whole lot more energetic in the room right now. I think a lot of the competitors who didn't make 3x3 round 2 just got excited because they have their next Pyraminx round to go.
Oh yes, the room is bustling now. All of the Pyraminx fanatics running around the venue.
Well, while we have you on the stream and on the camera, how do you feel about head-to-head finals coming up tonight? Do you feel like you're solving well, solving poorly?
I feel like I'm solving worse than this guy on screen. That's for sure.
That's all it takes, right? Well, Max warming up for his 5th solve. Odds we get a 4 on this one, Dylan?
It either happens or it doesn't, so 50%?
Okay. I'll take the under on that one.
I think I also take the under.
Zeroes in on an inspection almost immediately.
I don't see anything particularly great here, if I'm being honest. Oh.
Starts with yellow, finds an incredible X-cross.
I should have taken
4.6 with a crazy double X-cross,
oh
it
my
looked
gosh.
like.
Well, he made me eat my words very quickly.
Don't see anything in particular, he
Don't
said.
see anything in particular. I mean, yeah, locks in on this really clean thing. Yeah, we get this. Yeah, oh my gosh. Is that triple?
I think it was
No,
a
it's
triple X-cross.
It's double into free pair. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well.
Wow.
That's insane. That's why he's that's why he's the champ, dude.
Yeah, and Yiheng is our fastest CFOP solver because he forces that every single solve.
Yes. yeah. And he can double flick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, very solid showing from Max Park minus that one unfortunate solve. Nancy putting in solid times. I'm guessing that, do you think we'll see Nancy in the head-to-head final? Based on how she's solving.
100%.
I would imagine so.
100%. I think I was actually pretty surprised at the quality of the solving from most competitors. I mean, at least from what I saw, I think Zarui solved really well time-wise, even though the quality isn't necessarily what he wanted. And then Nancy dropping low 6s in after the average is kind of already done. That's really promising. I saw Brendan drop that 5-7. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit less tight, but it'll be fun. It'll be super interesting. I think it could really go any way in any of the matches in the head-to-head.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you go get warmed up for head-to-head finals. We'll be back for Pyraminx round 2, group 1 right after this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Western Championship 2026. We are into Pyraminx round 2 now, and we will have a round 3 of Pyraminx. So this is the semifinal of Pyraminx. It's Manu Singh Hall. I'm on the mic with a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Oh, for sure. Hello, it's me, Kerry Huang. I am a SpeedCuber, but I'm also a YouTuber. There's someone on the microphone.
Yeah, you can continue to
Okay.
talk. 'Cause I
Okay.
have them quiet on here.
Oh,
So.
that sounds good, yeah. So I am an animator on YouTube. I created this show called Battle for Dream Island with my twin. But I think, I guess in 2013 I started cubing, and I have cubed ever since.
Yeah, I mean, and we love to have you around. I mean, SoCal native as well. SpeedCuber of many years, one of my friends for many years.
Oh, true.
And yeah, so we're just here. We're gonna do like kind of just like chit chat podcast with the one and only, the awesome Kerry. So Kerry, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, not here. Kerry, tell me a little bit about this year's Western trip. You were at Westerns last year. Were you at
Yes.
Westerns the year before in San Diego?
I don't think so. But what I did think was interesting was like last Westerns, I know BFDI sponsored the event, so that was fun seeing like on the T-shirts,
Yeah.
you know, my little characters on every single T-shirt.
Yeah.
But I think for this year, there was like those blind events that were like 3 weeks earlier, right?
Yeah. We had the PPQ events on April 26th. We did like a different style where it was distributed across the West Coast. So like we had like 4 different locations for PPQ. And each of those kind of got aggregated together into like the final tally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And I think, you know, there's like it was like Reno, NorCal.
Reno,
SoCal.
Davis, Santa Clara, and UCLA.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like there's nothing that quite compares to the actual Westerns where you see hundreds of people in one room.
Yeah. This is the biggest Westerns of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I remember like pre-COVID Westerns, like 2018. There is, well, I still have a T-shirt from that one, but I remember I had dyed my hair red because of I was in college and I was in this like dance group and they wanted to go for like these edgier looks.
Yeah.
So in one of the documentaries with Felix Zemdegs from like 2018, like he's running through the crowd at Westerns 2018, and I give him a high five, but I have red hair, but I think is it like Why We Cube or one of those, but. I was like, oh, I'm in the documentary. Like, that's pretty cool.
I think I have a very small cameo in Why We Cube. And I'm trying to remember where that was. Oh, I think it was filmed at Northwest Champs 2017.
Right.
When it was in Portland. And yeah, that was, I had some like random cameo in that where I think I'm just sitting watching finals or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly very exciting. But yeah, I mean, through the years, Westerns has changed a lot. I mean, we're now to like this scale of like, 300 plus competitors here, 370 people registered. Yeah, I mean, the scale is kind of crazy. What is that like, I guess, kind of like on the competitor side?
I guess like I knew I was not going to podium in any event except for maybe 3 blind.
You got a good shot.
Yeah. I think that there's a different feeling when you are competing with people who don't live in your area because you kind of know where people in your area stack up against you. But then when like someone flies in from like 4 states over, then you're like, oh, this is a wild new Pokemon has appeared.
Yeah.
And like there's
Rare sighting.
There's sort of a wild card. So like I think that, you know, a time that I would be used to like a podiuming time is like now I know that like, there could be way more faster entries on the list.
Yeah. It's crazy how, isn't it nuts how fast speedcubing has evolved? Do you feel like speedcubing has gotten too good too fast?
Yeah, well actually I made a video talking about how I think certain events are changing faster than others.
Oh yeah? Because
like 3x3 in the last 4 years is totally different than it was like even during like the Monkey League COVID era. It's like at least a second faster and the top cubers are totally different. But like for other events like 4x4 or like the big cubes or like Stanley Chappell's 5 blind mean world record from 2019 is still standing. So I think, yeah, certain events, the clock changes really, really fast. It depends on, like the landscape is so different. I wonder, like, at some decade this will stop happening. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at some point you have to imagine that like the world records are going to become like quote unquote impossible to beat. I'm sure like someone is going to come up with like a new clock method and like 7 simul is whatever. We don't need 7. Turns out it's actually
Yeah.
6 simul. We can do everything in 6 simul or something. Yeah, I wonder when that will be. But this is something that I think we, or at least I had heard about a while ago. Curious in your thoughts about this too. So currently when we rank people for qualifications on a psych sheet or whatever, we take their like all-time PR.
I remember this discussion.
Right, but there was some talk about like, okay, well, what would alternate rankings look like? You're a math and science guy. Any thoughts on like what an interesting ranking system might look like?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably true that someone could be, or like have practiced a lot of cubing 10 years ago and then got a really good result and then sort of stopped practicing, and that, as it stands today, that old result would still represent them, which maybe isn't accurate. So I don't know if something as simple as like, oh, your best result in the last 2 years or something would be a simpler method.
Yeah.
I guess that means that what would happen is people would get a really good time and then they would have this like creeping date of like when that expires. And it's like, oh, it's like when your passport expires. It's like, oh my god, like I have like 6 months left before I have to renew it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if people would like that. I'm already like talking through it. It sounds like it would be unpopular, but I think, you know.
But at the same time, all it means is like once every 2 years you need to get like a good result, right? And by the way, 2 years makes a lot of sense to me because that's like our world's like cadence, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like once every 2 years, if you haven't improved in an event in 2 years, maybe you're not at your. Do you think it's fair to say that you're not at like you're the same level?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I think that's another thing that's different about event to event. Certain events you can like fall off, your skills like deteriorate a lot faster.
Right.
And some events I feel like if you come back a year later, it's like no time has passed at all.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like for me it's like that with golf. I've never been good at golf for the record, but like I used to play a little bit when I was younger, and then every time I'm like, man, dude, I haven't been to the range. I have no idea what I'm doing. If I show up, it's just gonna be awful. And then it's like only like slightly worse than like I used to be. It's like, man, if I just go back, like I'm just gonna get all my gains back. I guess I get weightlifting is similar too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I guess that's what they say is like you never forget how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
And I also know that's like for like bodybuilders. Not that I don't do bodybuilding, but I know that like sometimes they say that if bodybuilders like don't go to the gym for a while and then they train for like just a week or two after coming back, it's like the recovery gains are way faster because the body.
Yeah.
So I think that could happen for cubers as well.
Well, you're like training your brain maybe to some extent. They do say the brain is. Wait, is that a good thing when they say the brain is a muscle? No, they say, no. They say that the brain is a muscle because you can train it. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think the brain is way more involved than people think. Because I know someone told me that if you're not flexible and you can't like touch your toes, which I can't.
No,
but like,
neither can I.
Half of it, or maybe like most of the resistance of reaching is because your brain tells you that like you're at your limit.
Oh, interesting.
But like, let's say you became a comatose dead body, like you'd be able to do it again. I mean, you don't want that. You'd be able to reach your toes again.
Interesting. No, that's interesting. Let's shift topics a little bit. So, Carrie, you are like, well, of course, animation YouTuber, but you also have your own Carrie KH math and science YouTube channel. Do you think like any of like your like CS or math background kind of like assisted you in cubing at all? Do you think that there's like any relation?
Maybe like tangentially, I would use K-Solve, which is like a software to generate algorithms. But I don't know how much like expertise that requires. I do think that when I see these like really, really young cubers like Xuan Yi or Yiheng, I imagine the tutorials and training that adults, their mentors provide them, is kind of like on a silver platter. It's like it's like perfected basically. But like the people who devise the methods, I think there's a bit more math involved. So like if you want to come up with a new method, like maybe you need to know group theory or like I guess it's not like I feel like you don't need to know like calculus or anything.
Oh yeah, certainly
to come up with a method. But
I'm sure Young doesn't know calculus. Maybe he does.
Oh yeah.
He is a smart guy.
But I guess I'm referring more to the method designers.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think one method I heard about recently was solving roux first block while also doing corner permutations so that you don't have to.
Seor.
A Seor, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Lucas is actually an
Lucas,
expert.
you're using it now? Oh, that's pretty cool. Because I think that like I don't know how, like, corner permutation is somewhat beyond what I understand, but the person who came up with the ALG sets for that first step, like, it must be somewhat involved.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, maybe it's just because Lucas is a terrible teacher. No, I'm joking. But the first several steps are actually really tricky because you need to like kind of determine what your corner permutation is, then fix your corner permutation, and build the blocks, and then you can go ahead and turn everything into RU.
Yeah, yeah. Does it involve the tracing, kind of like
there is
OPA?
there is some type of tracing that it seems really interesting to me, and CR has gotten some good results recently.
Oh, really?
As well. Yeah, shout out Ethan George Hayes. Yeah, they've gotten some good results recently as well with CR.
Yeah, I should keep my eye out because I feel like whenever there's sort of a newish method like OPA in 2022, I didn't realize that like RE was using it until like Manu, you told me that, and then I was like, oh, now I'm gonna track RE's results as he competes.
Yeah. I mean, I love talking about because it's just interesting, right? It's like it's a new little like wrinkle in the fabric of speed cubing, if you will, and it's just another interesting thing to track. I mean, and this is something that I say a lot, and maybe it will come true, maybe it won't come true. I think as soon as people consistently get good results with a certain method, I think it will become the meta to switch that method. It's kind of like in speedrunning, I think. Once someone hits a skip and gets like a record with the skip, then all of a sudden everyone kind of needs to start going for the skip or needs to justify not going for the skip by like having time improvement somewhere else. And I feel like that's what we've seen with Yao. You know, like at first Redux had all the records, and recently Yao has claimed, well, it temporarily had claimed its first 7x7 single world record. And like now we see like people using Yao for everything when many years ago people thought that Yao was not viable for big cubes.
That's true, but I think that the new method has to provide results that are better than, or maybe not better, but like I guess like you said, more consistent. Because if Yao was consistently like 1 second slower, I don't think people would switch.
Right.
Which I'm kind of sad about that with speed cubing. There can be a lot of interesting methods that are just a second slower than CFOP or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll never get mass adoption.
Yeah, exactly. It's like because they're not like meta optimal. They might be interesting, but yeah, like because they're not meta optimal, they just never see the light of day.
Right. Well, I guess like with Ru and OH, like that is a spot where, like Ru seems to. Okay, actually, I don't want Ru users to kill me. I guess I am a Ru solver myself, but it's like for two-handed, it doesn't seem to be competitive anymore. Yeah. But with OH, like it ekes out just a bit of an edge. So I think. I'm still waiting for like the Ru to get back the world record for OH. Right.
I mean, I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think it's not a bad thing that we like Ru is like we see Ru more in OH than we do in your traditional 3x3 speed solve, because that means that Ru has a niche that it can like live in and it can grow in, and like OH is like that niche to kind of exist in. I think the fact that Ru is usable and fun for OH is a big reason why we should keep on the table solving, like table abuse. Yeah, they call it table abuse, which is a little bit of a poor term, perhaps.
Yeah, I was recommending table assist because
I think that is like I actually really like. I think I'm gonna switch to it.
Oh, awesome!
I'm gonna switch to that. I really like that.
The table's helping you. You know, you are two team members working together to do a middle slide.
Team members. Well, I think when you put it in that context, it's like, well, now are you cheating by getting the assistant?
Oh, shoot. Well, I think it's fine.
No, I actually like table. It's much more neutral. I think that's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Ru is like usable for OH and like it's like much more popular. I think like to me that's a good reason to keep the table assist around, because I mean remember this was a discussion from a long time ago when like when Kian Mansour had the NAR, it was like, okay, well, should the table be allowed? Is it external help?
Yeah, because I guess before Ru took over, it felt like a very minor addition.
Right.
Like kind of like a quirk of the regulations.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I think that we should keep it around just so that Ru has, a place to exist and breathe.
Yeah.
I know people have said that like there's just not as many Ru tutorials and resources, and that's sort of why.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a chicken and egg situation. So then fewer people adopt the method, and then fewer people can make more resources for it.
Right. Yeah. You kind of need to hit like a critical mass of adoption in order for it to kind of become like mainstream popular. I do hope that we see more Ru stuff in the future, though. I think it'll be good for the sport of speed cubing, I
agree.
And I think it's just good to like have like more methods around, even if like the methods aren't speed solvable.
That's true. Yeah. Like, what do you think about when people sort of use a niche method and then they might title their YouTube video like Meta World Record or like Method World Record? Because I think that the WCA doesn't recognize that because there's no way to confirm what method you're using.
Right. I mean, I think. Okay, so I have two opinions. One opinion is I think people should do whatever's fun.
Yeah.
Because speedcubing is fun. Right?
Right.
On the other hand, I think people also need to realize that, like, just because you care about this doesn't mean that everybody else cares about it, right? But and it's okay for only you to care about it, because if you're having fun and you and your friends care about it, then it's good. But just understand that maybe not everybody else sees it that way, and that's fine. At the end of the day, speedcubing is about beating your own personal limits and, like, pushing the boundaries of what is and isn't possible for yourself. And if you want to challenge yourself to use a different method and you end up becoming the best in the world, but like using that specific method, more power to you, I think.
Yeah. And I think that actually I don't know how like off topic this is, but
anything goes.
Okay. I think you can be the best in the world at some very, very niche thing and get people to care if you can like tell a good story about it.
True.
Like I was just thinking like summoning Salt as a YouTuber who, I guess we were talking about speedrunning earlier. I think like so often he'll make a video about a game I really have never heard of or I don't care about.
The Simpsons hit and run was it for me.
Oh, I actually did play that as a kid. Like.
Oh really?
Yeah. Or I watched my brother play it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that or there's other YouTubers who have kind of followed Summoning Salt's footsteps. Like I just remember one of them was about this Flash game called like Red Ball.
Red Ball, yeah.
Yeah, and
I've heard of Red Ball.
Like it's such a late 2000s kind of not archaic, but like a product of its time game. And the fact that like people have to find a way to install Flash Player to play this ancient game just so they can break these records and then be in a 2024 like M Sushi video or whoever made the YouTube video.
Sure, yeah.
It's like this is the only thing keeping Flash alive, basically.
Yeah. No, I think that stuff is fun. But like again, if people have fun, then we're all for it. All right, let's commentate just a little bit of Pyraminx because theoretically we are the commentators.
Right. I was gonna ask. So this is second round of Pyraminx.
Yes.
And is it 2 groups or? Is
it 2 groups. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. 2 groups of Pyraminx.
I brought my own Pyraminx in case we have to like demonstrate elves. Although I don't think I'll be a good demonstrator.
Well, I don't think we're gonna switch to that angle. That angle is a little bit chopped. I gotta fix that during lunch.
Oh, okay, so they can hear us, but they can't see us.
Yep.
So if I were to like flip the bird.
Okay. Whoa. Hold on. No. Chill.
Oh, no, I can't do it if they're showing. Wait, is it showing?
No, it's not.
Okay, so if oh my god. That was scary.
Scandalous.
Well, because the people in the real world, they could see. No one's watching. That's good.
No one's watching. I think you're all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a bunch of good solvers in this group. Mariana and Isaac and Rishu in particular are the ones that we're gonna kind of be like semi-following. Of course, Lucas is out competing because he's actually good at Pyraminx. We're a little bit short-handed on the staff side. So instead, you just got me switching back and forth.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't seen some crazy results. I mean, we're seeing some pretty good results, like Mariana, like pretty solid. I think 251 is that sub her PR? Ooh,
average.
It was from yesterday, so I don't even fully remember. But speaking of yesterday, I mean, we had some really good solving yesterday, and usually I don't get super hyped about Pyraminx, but it was actually really cool. So I'm really excited for the final later.
Yeah. Do you think most of these competitors? Like, what methods? Is it just L4E with, like... Because I know there's a lot of top first methods.
Oh, really? People still use top first?
Not anymore, but I know... I feel like...
there's a variety.
When I started cubing...
Yeah.
There were a lot of top first methods, and then I think everyone now uses some sort of, like, V first method.
Do you remember the channel Cubing World?
Yes.
That was the first and last time I heard about top first methods. It was back in 2013 when I was, like, learning how to solve the Pyraminx. And... was it Drew Brads maybe who was doing that video?
Probably. Yeah, I mean, he was sort of the Pyraminx representative
at
the time. Like, he was like by far and away the fastest solver.
Yeah. So I do think all the solvers that we're going to see are going to be like V first, and then into L4E.
Yeah.
I'm not a particularly good Pyraminx solver myself, but From what I understand, it's like the most straightforward thing to do. It isn't too tricky to get started with L4E.
Yeah.
But there is like a really high there's a really high ceiling. There's a lot that you can do with some pretty simple stuff, and then obviously as you get better, you can take advantage of more cases.
You can start to one look, I think.
Yeah.
With L4E.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm really excited for is in finals, if we get some good scrambles with like one tip, no tips, those could be really, really, really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, for scrambles, the minimum number is 6 for like optimal move count, right? So you could have like RL
2-move body.
RL sled, or 2-move body and then 4 tips. But I
that would be pretty bad. Yeah.
I almost wonder if people would prefer like RL sledge or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like if it's like this, and then, well, I guess you can't see that, but yeah, I think anything is possible. 1.77.
Yeah, great solve. So this is Rishu, Rishikesh Kakadi. He is the #1 seed. He's the only person in the field with a sub-2 average officially.
Oh wow. So 177 is not even that out of the ordinary.
No. He's got a sub-1. He's also the only one in the field with a sub-1 single. Which puts him in the top 100 worldwide. And in round 1 was looking really, really, really impressive. And yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about. We got some great solvers. Great solve from Roy here. 211. Oh, I hit the fade accidentally.
And this is Mariana.
This is Mariana. Yeah. So she's not from the West Coast. She's from New Jersey, but she has family here. So she's quote always here.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, we welcome all East Coasters to California.
Yeah, welcome. I guess the East Coast is warm these days too, but it's a very, very, very pleasant day. It's been a very nice weekend here in Riverside.
Oh yeah, it has been. I think that Riverside is technically sort of in the LA county, but you know, having lived on the other side of LA, it can take like an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive.
Good old LA. Good old LA.
I know. They have 2 years to get their public transit in order before the Olympics.
Yeah, here's hoping. Although the new D-line extensions in more like downtown LA is certainly very helpful. I'm glad to see that they're
Oh yeah, that
working
was
on
pretty recent, wasn't it?
Ooh, table +2 for Isaac.
Oh.
That's tough. And and for PRMix in particular, +2 is like almost a DNF. Yeah.
I do wonder, like, for smaller events. Actually, I think +2 still matters, because if it's a +1 or something, I think slower cubers will just accept the +1 penalty.
Oh, actually, yeah, definitely. I mean, for something like Megamix sometimes, because I feel like it's so ball-shaped,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's really tricky. You make like a move on like the back side, and to fix that, I feel like takes kind of a lot of effort. I feel like you would take the 1 second penalty.
rotate, like, in an awkward way.
Back when feet was still legal, that was a strat, just to not do AUF.
Oh, yeah, because that could take more than 2 seconds. I never got a feet success. Like, I tried, but I only have DNFs.
Unfortunate. I have only 2 rounds of feet. I didn't make cutoff in the first one, and I practiced, actually, for the second round of feet I ever did, specifically to make the cutoff so I could have it on my profile forever.
So you do have a result?
I do.
Oh, wow. So you probably have an eternal ranking. Like.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. But
somewhere.
We don't know what it is. Like, I guess the website doesn't show.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny is, like, everyone knows Lim Hung now from his recent WRs, but his first WR was feet.
I remember that, because I remember, like, he was like a kid back then. And I felt like, wow. Because in the last few months of 2019, there's like a flurry of feet world records. Right. People were fighting for that.
Right.
And
between him and Daniel Rose Levine.
And then there's also someone from India who got the average, I think, or the single. It was someone like, I mean, I hadn't heard of like Lim Hung either, so like that was like kind of my first introduction to a lot of people.
Right. That was an interesting time. Feet was interesting.
I agree.
I think back in the day, I was like, oh, well, why do we get rid of feet? This is boring. But I think now, I'm glad we don't have feet.
Right, and you're someone who is involved a lot more with like comp organization than I am, so you probably know how much like logistical headache it must be to set up a feet solving station.
Yeah, no, it was certainly not trivial. Nice solve, 1-7.
170 for Rishu.
Yeah, so he's counting a 1-7 now.
Yeah. What's his PR average?
188, I want to say.
Find out.
Yeah. We'll look it up for you all. This is the one thing that's tricky about commentating speed cubing. Sometimes is like there are so many numbers to keep track of that they all kind of overlap sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a text.
188, yeah.
Yeah, 188. So he could beat that. I actually don't know his other times.
Yeah, no, we don't know the full other times either. But we will definitely see him in the finals.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's final 16 or top
Yeah, top 16. And top 16 on the psych sheet is a 16 average. Actually, Isaac Modro, he's solving on the
Wait, a 16 average?
Sorry, top 16 is a 3 average.
Oh, 3 average. Or
on the psych sheet, 301.
301.
So barely sub 3. I mean, obviously not everyone gets their PR, right? So
right, it might be like 3.5 or something.
3.5. I mean, yeah, I mean with the way that everyone's solving 3.5 would be a good solve. I mean, that's a good one from Roy. Good to see him get a bounce back after some frustrating solves.
A bit of a blunder. Well, I think speaking of Pyraminx, I have to give a shout out to my friend Eli Gabret because he got like a low 3 average like last competition, and his goal is to make finals today. So
low 3 has a chance, certainly.
Yeah, I think that average was good for him. So this is Isaac with a 303.
Yep.
So that should be qualifying for finals, but obviously we don't know his other times.
Right. You can see, well, you all can't see it, but Roy's doing some calculus. And by that, he just pulled out the calculator, to figure out the average. Will certainly be important as we go into finals to kind of see who advances and who doesn't advance. Of course, the final list of competitors will be solidified shortly after we do data entry, which is a manual. Shout out to the data entry people. I've shouted out basically everybody over the course of the streams. But yeah, shout out to the data entry folks. They are processing thousands of scorecards.
That's true.
So it's a huge feat. It's a lot of paper. It's a lot of like very precise management. So.
I know, and it's like every time there's a mistake, it's like I feel bad because like I will try to report when there's mistakes for my results, but that must be like hundreds of. You multiply that by hundreds.
Yeah.
You know, to not have more errors is a miracle.
Yeah. No, it's really fantastic stuff. So yeah, very, very proud of the team. I mean, in general, we have a great team of organizers, delegates, staff members, and competitors. Just couldn't have asked for anything more.
Oh, that's true. And I also know there's quite a few sponsors.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to all
people
the
having booths out in the front.
Yeah.
I guess there's a universe where I would have a booth, but it didn't line up.
One of these days.
One of these days. I think that like my company needs to not be like in. It's always like in transition period when these comps happen.
Yeah.
And
totally.
like I'm always like, oh, we're so busy because we're trying to like hire new people, but it's like one of these years we'll be in like a stable mode, and then I'll have the bandwidth for it.
Hey, so you and SpeedCubing have a lot in common, right? Both growing.
Oh, true.
Growing at a great rate.
Growing. Well, cubing is popular in China, and BFDI is not because YouTube's banned in China.
Okay, so cubing is ahead then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about uploading? Can you upload stuff onto Bilibili? If you just some translated. I guess you need all the voice actors.
People proposed it, and like we tried to partner with a company to translate into other languages. But I think for Chinese, like, we have to find the right translator. I guess my mom could do it. But I think, well, what was I gonna say? I follow a lot of math YouTubers like 3 Blue 1 Brown. And what I was shocked by is that like his channel is like really big on Bilibili. Because like I would expect like the secondary channels in other languages would be like a 10th the size, maybe like 5% the size.
Yeah.
But I think he has like a third of his subscriber base purely on Chinese social media.
Okay.
So I think, obviously they have like 1.4 billion people. So
yeah. The numbers certainly help out in that regard.
Do you think that like when you look at the top 20 list for 3x3 average, it's like 14 Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll keep growing, or will there reach a peak where like there aren't more kids from the boot camps? I shouldn't call them boot camps.
Well, I guess that's kind of what they are. Like their coaching, their coaching cycle. I think that there are two universes. One where like kind of cubing coaching isn't going as far. And by the way, one of the sponsors of the competition, cubing.gg, is trying to change that. So if you're interested in coaching, check out cubing.gg. But like the coaching is growing in the West. We see more independent coaches and more like kind of like organizations kind of getting into it as well.
Right.
And so I think that the number will it'll come up to a certain number. Where it's like, hey, like there are this many people from China just has a jump on it, essentially.
Yeah.
And because of that, they will always have like a larger number than most. As we see Rishu get a 210, which is going to round out, I mean, pretty solid average.
Yeah.
So yeah, China just has the jump from the way that I see it. And eventually I think we'll reach like some sort of like stable equilibrium.
Where like maybe like the U.S. will figure out coaching as well, and then cubers from the get-go in both countries can learn good finger trick habits.
Right. Yeah. And learn from the best of the best.
Because
So.
I will say like Dylan Miller's coaching, because I signed up for his coaching for a few months. A lot of it was just teaching me to undo bad habits.
Right.
Like stop
right.
doing
Right.
like double or stop doing
Single YouTube flicks.
Yeah, single YouTube flicks.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think that like if it was my coach from day one, he wouldn't even need to teach me that.
Right. Yeah. So I think with the quality of knowledge that we have out there, like YouTube can only go so far, right?
Yeah.
There's only so much stuff you can learn on your own. It's nice to have a coach who can kind of like guide you towards it. This wasn't supposed to be a part of the sponsor segment, but hey, I mean, Cubing.gg is a sponsor. So if you're interested in the stuff we're talking about coaching and everything, yeah, please do check them out. And thanks to Cubing.gg for sponsoring Westerns. It's a good help, and yeah, they got a booth here too.
It's good that the cubing world has somewhat of like an economy. Like there's more than just products. There's more than just like physical cubes to buy. You can also sign up for coaching. You can provide coaching. Like I think a lot of my friends who are top levels, I'm trying to get them into coaching or
into cubing.
And well, it's like maybe someone is like world class at 7x7, and so I'm like, oh, you could be a coach. Like you don't know, maybe it's like you have a skill set or like a service to provide that like you don't, not that you don't realize, but like it's like it'll like maybe more people want this than you're aware of. So put your name out there.
Yeah, totally. Well, with that, I think we're gonna wrap up. This has basically been over-inspected too. I'm realizing.
Oh, true. Episode 54.
The reboot? I don't even know. We definitely had 50+ episodes, which is pretty epic. But no, huge thanks to Carrie for helping me fill some time, and it's been really fun to chat. I mean, as always, this is basically what we do when we're not on the stream. Also, we just chit chat about random stuff.
Like the future of cubing.
And best of luck to you, Carrie, in the 3-blind finals. We will be very excited to see you in that final, and we're going to be cheering for you.
Maybe I'll quintuple DNF.
No, okay. So I was actually the first person to quintuple DNF in the U.S. Did you know?
Oh, I did not know. Was that like January 1st or something?
It was January 3rd.
Oh well, that's a big honor. You should like upload that video and be.
I'm not gonna. It was. I was so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I got like one round. I mean, I know like this segment's about to end, but I got one round that was like 4 DNFs.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna quintuple, and then I got a 45. So I'm like, at least I have a single, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it can happen to me. It can happen to you.
It can happen to anyone.
The viewers.
It could. Well, I hope it doesn't happen to the viewers.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we hope you all have enjoyed this podcast segment. We're gonna go back to your classic commentary. That'll be just after this short break. Don't go anywhere. One-Handed is coming up next on Western Championships 2026.
Yeah, and thanks for having me on, Manu. I'll see
Hello, welcome back to Western Championships 2026. This is Brandon True, and only Brandon True. I have no one sitting next to me, nobody commentating with me online, and I know almost nothing got one-handed, so we'll see how this goes. If I accidentally start talking about L4E, then it's because I'm still thinking about Pyraminx. We have Dylan Miller up on stream for his first solve of the average. Dylan obviously exceptionally fast at two-handed, so he can kind of bring a lot of his like just raw C-pop knowledge into one-handed. Even though, you know, turning techniques are not always fantastic. Looks like a pretty efficient cross and first pair for him, going into third, fourth pair here. Last layer around 7. It's going to be a pretty nice solve from him. Fumbles at the end a little bit. Very mediocre, all things considered. $12.78, solve 1 is over for Dylan. Coming up next on the stream, we've got Koi, a local solver, getting ready to start here. Chose his angle. Smooth start. Going into last layer around 8. Quick OLL and a nice 10.7. He's happy about that. One-handed this weekend only has 2 rounds, first round and final, so every solve here does matter. The competitors want to get to the next round. Dylan coming back up for his second solve. Koi is probably very happy with that solve. Let me double check what his PRs are. Dan Tran on the stream getting ready for his first solve of the round. Dylan Miller starting his solve next to Dan. We'll see his result in a moment. A lot of table abuse here for Dan. Arrives at last layer around 10 seconds. And a really tough, looks like he's forcing a ZB there for a 14.3. Dylan on last layer at 6 seconds when we show up. 10.5 overall. Unfortunate last layer cases, but it must have been a really efficient enough 12 to get there that quickly. Koi's PR single today, before today, was an 11.09. So we just watched Koi get a PR single on his previous solve. PR average for Koi is 12.06. So he is very happy with that first single. And we are on PR watch for Koi. Shaking his head, probably doesn't see anything here. Gets cross done, but it takes him a little bit, like almost 4 seconds, I think, to get that done. Finishes F12 around 9. Easy OLL J-Perm. 1381. He knows he got bailed out by the OLL, and it was still a bad solve. Well, fantastic first solve, mediocre second solve. Lots up in the air. That was Koi's third solve. Do we know what he got on number 1? 15 on the first. That's disappointing for him. So Koi got a 15.02 on solve 1, PR single on solve 2, and then back to 13.81 on solve 3. Well, if he can pull off a miracle solve 4 or 5, his average will be looking a whole lot better. It should still make finals either way. Dylan finishing up solve 3. Happy with his 11.89, counting that time. Dylan coming into today with an 11.04 PR, average of 5 in one-handed. So far, strong case for him. Dan finishing up with a 12, faster than what he had before, but he doesn't look happy. Koi coming up for solve number 4, a super pivotal solve for him, considering Great time and bad times all in the same average. Starting inspection now. He looks like he zeroed in on something pretty quickly, just choosing an angle. Some sort of X cross there. Looks like he got lost in all of his complicated solutions and is going to end up with a 15 or 16 here. Unfortunate for him. The vision was there at the beginning, tried too many complicated things, and just kind of got stuck by the end of it. Dylan is coming back up for number 4. All 3 of his times so far are quite solid, so looks like he's turning really well as well, and Dylan can tend to struggle with nerves and choppiness, so non-zero chance that we see a phenomenal time come out from Dylan. Especially, like, Koi found something pretty interesting at the start of his last solve, so if Dylan can take advantage of it but close out the solve, this might be good. Oh, never mind. World-class choker. Still getting the PLO around 10. Shrugs it off. Cube drop at the beginning and still gets an 11.8. Yeah, let's see a replay on that. I'm kind of curious what he was interested in at the beginning there. So here we go. Picks it up, drops the cube after about 5 turns, but immediately picks it back up and figures out where he was. Super efficient F2L, 2-gen second pair, super efficient third pair. Yeah, his last F2L pairs were just so simple. Really easy OLL, and then a U-perm. Yeah, we call that getting bailed out here in the biz. All right, Koi going into 5. At this point, he's just hoping for a miracle single. Very efficient X-cross. Third pair, OLL at 7. Tough PLL. 1295. That was a 5-second last layer, which could be worse, but not by much. All right, and with that, Koi walks away with a 1393 average. Still respectable. Still respectable. We'll see if that makes finals or not. Okay. Dylan's best possible, coming in at an 11.4. Worst possible, coming in at a 12.1. So, for sure, far ahead of Koi. Finals is currently seated on the psych sheet to be 1336 as the cutoff. So, we will see how Koi fares. If some of the people at the bottom end of the psych sheet underperform, he might slide into the bottom end of the final. Dylan getting ready for solve number 5 here. See if he can hold on to the cube this time. So far, he seems successful at that. Too much hair, though. Hard to tell what's going on. All right. Good solve, man. Good solve. Everyone's happy. Getting great times this round. Dylan walking up the stage. Cheerful and in a good mood, considering the fantastic 5th solve that he just got. Well, I think we're coming toward the end of our on-stream competitors, but the group has a little bit longer to go. We're going to hit an ad break real quick here, and then we'll be back for more 3x3 one-handed right after that. Welcome back to Western Championships 2026. I'm Brandon True, and I'm here with Verenia, and we are watching 3x3 one-handed round 1, wrapping up Group 1, heading into Group number 2. How are you doing this morning, Verenia?
I'm good. It was fun commentating for the first time last night, and yeah, maybe it'll be more chill this time since we have some first rounds, but still be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely more chill. There's definitely still pressure on the competitors this round. They have to get their times that they want in order to get into the final round, which is why most of them came out here to Western Championships. But it's pretty relaxed feeling in the room right now. I think everybody is kind of done with most of the high-stress, high-energy part of the competition, and they're either just here for the vibes and head-to-head finals tonight, or something that they are personally invested in competing in, like finishing up Pyraminx or 2x2 or something like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm sure since it's the beginning of the day for some competitors, it's probably more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, coming off of the first group of one-handed and heading into the second group, notable competitors coming up soon are going to be Max Park, the fluid, fantastically solid turning king, Jihu Moon, generally good at big cubes, and then Hrishikesh Kakati, who we just saw get a sub-2 mean in a sub-2 average of 5 in Pyraminx, performed exceptionally well in his Pyraminx round, likely going into the finals at the #1 seed. Jason Ostudek as well. And there's our chime. Looks like they're about to call 3x3 one-handed Group 2 very shortly.
Yeah, of course, this is another event where the first place is kind of pre-decided, but still a very interesting story for the rest of the podium.
Yeah, what do you know about Jason solving? I've never seen him solve before.
Yeah, I haven't seen him solve either, actually. I think, does he use Ru? I'm
Yes,
not sure.
he is Manu just confirmed he is a Rue solver. Let me double check what he's seeded to get. He's seeded for an 1155 mean as his PR, which is very, very good. 7th seed coming into the competition.
Nice. And yeah, of the competitors you mentioned, I also know Rishikesh. He's a local competitor for me. And
I was really impressed with Rishikesh's solving this weekend. I'd never seen him turn before, and for both of the Pyraminx rounds, he was super composed, super precise turning.
oh yeah,
Really, really good solutions. I think during today's average, he was a little disappointed because there were minor lockups in most of his solves, and he still got a sub-2 average. Like, that could have been a very, very good average, but really, really solid as a competitor.
yeah, he's good at Priya, OH, and 3x3. So yeah, I think he's most known for Pyraminx, but very good OH skills as well.
Yeah. So when we're looking at one-handed, obviously, because we're going to have Jason on the stream and we're going to have Max on the stream, we're going to see two high-level users of the two different methods for one-handed. We've got Rue with Jason, and then Max being one of the fastest CFOP solvers in the world for one-handed. What can you tell us about the differences between CFOP and Rue and one-handed?
Oh yeah, so OH is like my third best event, but I'm still not that well versed. But the conventional wisdom I've heard is that like Ru is like maybe kind of optimal, but it's like pretty close, I think. So basically, with Ru you can turn a lot slower since it's more efficient, and yeah, I guess CFOP it's kind of more of like a 3x3 method rather than OH. So I guess Ru is kind of more optimized for OH.
Yeah, Rue, when done in the traditional way, is more efficient than the traditional methods for doing CFOP. If you very, very heavily move optimize CFOP, you do really optimal X crosses, and you know full ZB, which a few top one-handed solvers do, your move count actually gets close to traditional Rue. The reason that Rue took a while to become mainstream in one-handed is because the turning ergonomics are very odd. They require a lot of tabling the puzzle, which, according to conventional wisdom, is a poor turning technique for one-handed. But recently, we've kind of seen Rue in the last couple of years overtake CFOP in the top 100 and see about equal or better performances at the World Championship Finals. But at a mid-level competition like this, most of the competitors will be using CFOP because it's much easier to get up to a modest speed at one-handed using a method that you're already familiar with versus having to learn a completely new technique just for one event.
Yeah, and do we have any ZB users here? I know we have Ethan, Jan, and Zain Qureshi and Narkel who use ZB, but neither of them are here, so I was wondering about that.
Nicholas Sanchez has been competing with full ZB this weekend. He flew out from Georgia, but in the SoCal region, we do not.
One-handed, round 1, group 2. If you are in 3x3 one-handed, round 1, group 2, please submit your puzzle.
There's our call for group 2.
If you pre-ordered a t-shirt, you can get that at the help desk.
We should have competitors on stream very soon, but yes, Nicholas Sanchez has recently finished full ZB. I was warming up with him this morning a little bit, and he's kind of still in the slow recognition, mistakes on a lot of his algorithms phase of ZB, but he is pretty sure that it'll be worth it. But we've seen a lot of solves from him over this weekend, especially in 3x3 round 2, where he sacrificed a couple seconds on his times to be able to use his new ZBLS algorithms or his new ZBLL cases, especially with Soon, anti-Soon. So no full ZB users local to SoCal, though.
Yeah, that's interesting payoff when you learn a new L set, whether to use it in comp. So I guess it's a sacrifice for now, but hopefully it'll pay off well for him.
Yeah, and I'll take this opportunity real quick just to shout out CubingGG. They're one of the sponsors of West Coast Championships this year. I'm a coach on CubingGG. We have dozens of coaches from around the cubing community who are proficient at various events. And some of them, such as Luke Greiser, have learned full ZB, use it in their solves at a world-class level, and are available for pretty modest hourly rates in the world of private sports coaching to give you direct feedback on your solves and what you need. We have all of Timon Koloshinsky's ZBLL algorithms with their specific finger tricks in a course, which is an absolutely incredible resource. Coaching is obviously not required to get exceptionally fast, but if you're the type of person that finds value in personalized advice and is dedicated enough